What if the most beautiful spring home decor pieces for your dream cottage-style home were hiding in a thrift store for just a few dollars? Today, we're going on a magical vintage treasure hunt to uncover thrifted spring decor ideas that will help you create a timeless cottage aesthetic full of charm, softness, and personality. From floral china and aged wicker to delicate lace, botanical artwork, and rustic baskets, this video is packed with cottage or decorating ideas, thrift flip inspiration, and budget-friendly home decor finds you'll want to start searching for immediately. So grab your tea, settle in, and let's turn secondhand beauty into springtime magic. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below with your favorite thrifted find, because this cozy decor adventure is just getting started. There's something deeply romantic about decorating with pieces that already have a story. Unlike mass-produced trends, vintage home decor brings soul into a space. That's the magic of a timeless cottage aesthetic. It's layered, collected, imperfect, and beautifully lived in. In today's video, I'm showing you how to find those charming treasures that instantly make your home feel like a warm countryside retreat. Think spring cottage decor, antique-style decorating, and thrifted farmhouse finds that look curated rather than cluttered. If you've ever wanted your home to feel soft, nostalgic, and effortlessly elegant without spending a fortune, you're absolutely in the right place. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also share how to style everything together so your thrifted finds look intentional, elevated, and absolutely enchanting. Before we start shopping, it helps to know exactly what we're hunting for. A timeless cottage aesthetic blends vintage charm with cozy simplicity. It's built around weathered textures, soft floral patterns, faded woods, natural fibers, and meaningful details that feel collected over time. Imagine English cottage decor, French country spring decorating, and a touch of romantic farmhouse style, all wrapped into one inviting home. Instead of chasing perfection, this look celebrates warmth and authenticity. In spring, that means adding lighter colors, fresh florals, botanical prints, woven textures, and pieces that feel airy and nostalgic. Once you understand this visual language, thrift stores stop looking random and start feeling like hidden treasure maps. Suddenly, every aisle becomes full of possibility, and every dusty shelf might hold your next favorite piece. If there's one category you should never skip in a thrift store, it's vintage china. Floral plates, delicate teacups, pastel saucers, and even mismatched serving bowls are absolute gold when it comes to spring cottage decor. These pieces instantly add softness and old-world beauty to open shelves, coffee stations, hutches, and dining tables. Look for roses, wildflowers, soft blue patterns, faded pinks, and anything that feels romantic and slightly time-worn. Even 1 or 2 pieces can transform a space into a cozy cottage kitchen. Use them for styling layered trays, serving pastries during spring brunch, or displaying faux moss eggs and candles. This is one of the easiest and most affordable ways to achieve that vintage spring aesthetic everyone is searching for right now, and yes, it photographs beautifully for home tours and seasonal decorating videos. No cottage-inspired spring home is complete without baskets. Wicker, rattan, seagrass, and woven wood pieces are some of the most useful and beautiful things you can thrift. They bring in that earthy, grounded texture that balances delicate florals and pastel accents so your home doesn't feel too precious or overdone. Search for picnic baskets, wall baskets, woven trays, small market totes, planter covers, and lidded storage baskets. These are perfect for styling spring farmhouse decor, organizing blankets, displaying flowers, or creating charming vignettes around the home. One basket filled with tulips, books, or linen napkins can completely shift the mood of a room. The best part? Vintage baskets often have more character and craftsmanship than brand new ones, which makes them ideal for a timeless cottagecore home that feels authentic and relaxed. One of the most underrated sections in a thrift store is the linen aisle. This is where you'll often find the soul of your spring decorating. Think embroidered tablecloths, lace runners, crochet doilies, floral napkins, and vintage pillowcases with delicate details you simply don't see as often today. These soft layers are perfect for adding quiet elegance to your vintage cottage decor. Drape a lace runner over a console table, fold floral napkins into a basket, or use an old embroidered cloth as a backdrop for candles and flowers. These touches may seem small, but they create that cozy, collected feeling viewers love in cottage or home styling videos. The secret is layering them naturally rather than too formally. Let them wrinkle slightly, let them soften the edges, and let them make your home feel warm, welcoming, and deeply personal. If you want your home to feel like an old cottage tucked into a blooming countryside, thrifted wall art is where the magic happens. Search for botanical prints, faded landscapes, floral paintings, still life artwork, vintage frames, and even old needlepoint pieces. These treasures are perfect for creating a layered, story-filled look that makes your walls feel charming rather than empty. In spring home decorating, Nature-inspired art helps bring the season indoors without relying only on flowers. A simple thrifted frame with pressed botanicals or a faded garden print can elevate an entryway, bedroom, or kitchen nook instantly. This is one of the most effective ways to achieve a cottage or wall decor look on a budget. Group smaller pieces together for a gallery wall or lean them on shelves for that casual, collected over time style. One of the easiest ways to make thrifted decor feel elevated is by collecting vintage candle holders and brass accents. These tiny finds can make a huge visual impact, especially in spring when you want your home to feel soft, warm, and layered with atmosphere. Look for brass candlesticks, petite lamps, ornate trays, small mirrors, and aged metal boxes. These pieces bring a subtle antique richness that balances the lightness of florals and woven textures. In the world of thrifted home decor styling, it's often the smallest details that make a room feel curated instead of chaotic. Pair brass candle holders with white taper candles and a floral plate, and suddenly you have a vignette worthy of a spring cottage home tour. They're timeless, versatile, and one of the best-kept secrets in vintage decorating. Old books are one of the most powerful styling tools you can thrift, and they work beautifully in a timeless cottage aesthetic. Look for worn covers, muted tones, faded cloth bindings, and titles that feel poetic or nature-inspired. These books can be stacked under candles, tucked into shelves, layered on coffee tables, or used as risers to create visual height in your decor. Add in handwritten postcards, vintage sheet music, pressed flowers, or old gardening guides, and suddenly your home feels like it belongs in a spring storybook. This kind of vintage styling is especially popular in cottagecore room decor because it adds depth and emotion without overwhelming the space. The goal isn't to create a museum, it's to create a home that feels soulful, thoughtful, and delightfully lived in. Nothing says spring like flowers, but the secret to making them feel special is all in the vessel. Thrift stores are full of beautiful ceramic pitchers, milk glass vases, transferware containers, terracotta pots, and weathered planters that make even the simplest bouquet feel extraordinary. Whether you're using faux florals, fresh tulips, flowering branches, or garden clippings, the right vintage container creates instant cottage charm. This is where spring decorating ideas and thrifted vintage finds blend perfectly. A chipped ironstone pitcher filled with blossoms can transform a kitchen counter, while a small floral vase on a bedside table adds softness and romance. Viewers love this kind of practical styling because it's accessible, affordable, and incredibly beautiful. Sometimes the prettiest spring decor isn't what you buy new, it's what you rescue and reimagine. Some of the best thrifted finds aren't decorative at first glance, they're functional. Small wooden stools, old crates, breadboards, and rustic boxes can become some of the most versatile pieces in your spring decor collection. They add warmth, age, and dimension while helping you style shelves, countertops, and tables more effectively. Use a small stool beside a chair with a vase of flowers, or place a breadboard behind candles and framed art to create layered depth. This is one of the most effective tricks in farmhouse cottage decorating because it keeps a space from looking flat. It also gives your decor that collected, storied feeling that people love in cozy home styling videos. Don't overlook worn wood, sometimes those rough. Simple pieces are exactly what a romantic spring room needs. Not every thrifted piece will be perfect the moment you bring it home, and that's where the fun begins. A simple thrift flip can turn an overlooked object into a standout decor piece while still preserving its old-world beauty. Think painting a dark frame in a soft cream, adding ribbon to a wicker basket, lining a wooden drawer with floral paper, or distressing a simple tray for a more antique look. The key is not to over-modernize your finds. You want them to still feel storied and charming. These small DIY upgrades are perfect for viewers searching for budget spring decor, DIY cottage or ideas, and thrift makeover inspiration. Even the simplest refresh can breathe a new life into an item and make it feel tailor-made for your spring home. Your entryway sets the tone for your entire home, and it's the perfect place to style your thrifted spring treasures. A wicker basket by the door, a floral print on the wall, a small stool with a picture of flowers, and a vintage tray for keys can completely transform even the simplest entrance. This is where spring entryway decor becomes both functional and beautiful. You don't need a grand foyer to create charm, just a few thoughtfully chosen pieces that make the space feel welcoming and lived in. This kind of styling is especially engaging on YouTube because viewers love seeing practical ideas they can actually recreate. If your goal is to create a cozy cottage home, never underestimate the power of that very first impression when someone walks through the door. The kitchen is one of the most rewarding spaces to decorate with thrifted finds because every small corner can become beautiful and useful at the same time. Style open shelves with floral dishes, tuck a vintage basket above the cabinets, lean an old cutting board against the backsplash, and display a pitcher of fresh flowers beside the sink. Add lace, ceramic crocks, and a few antique utensils, and suddenly your kitchen feels warm, nostalgic, and wonderfully alive. This is the essence of cottage kitchen decor, not perfection, but comfort and charm. For spring, keep the palette light and airy with creams, faded greens, soft blues, and floral accents. Viewers are always searching for small kitchen decor ideas, and thrifted styling offers the perfect mix of affordability, personality, and timeless appeal. Spring decorating isn't just for living rooms and kitchens. Your bedroom and reading corners deserve that same gentle beauty. A thrifted floral pillowcase, a lace runner on a dresser, a stack of old books beside the bed, or a tiny brass lamp can make your resting spaces feel deeply comforting. This is where the cottage or bedroom aesthetic really shines. It's about softness, intimacy, and creating a room that feels like an exhale. Add a woven basket with blankets, a botanical print on the wall, and a ceramic vase with faux blossoms, and you've created a spring retreat that feels peaceful and personal. These are the kinds of details that keep viewers engaged because they feel emotional, not just decorative. Home should feel beautiful, yes, but also safe, warm, and quietly inspiring. One of the biggest fears people have when decorating with thrifted pieces is ending up with clutter instead of charm. And honestly, that concern is valid. The secret to a beautiful timeless cottage aesthetic is editing. Not every pretty vintage piece needs to be displayed at once. Choose items that complement each other in color, texture, and mood, then give them room to breathe. Create little stories instead of filling every surface. A floral plate, a brass candle holder, and a tiny vase of tulips will always feel more elegant than 20 unrelated objects competing for attention. This is one of the most important lessons in vintage home styling and thrifted decor decorating tips. Cottage style should feel collected and cozy, not chaotic. Thoughtful restraint is what makes your treasures truly shine. One of the most beautiful things about thrifted spring decor is that every home will look different, and that's exactly what makes it so special. This is the perfect moment in your video to invite your audience into the conversation. Ask them what their best thrift store find has been, what piece they always hunt for first, or whether they love more farmhouse cottage decor or romantic vintage home styling. Encourage them to share their own decorating ideas in the comments and to tell you which thrifted treasure from today's video they would take home immediately. This kind of interaction not only builds community, it keeps your viewers emotionally connected to your content. And if they're feeling inspired, remind them to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so they never miss another cozy seasonal decor adventure. At the end of the day, decorating with thrifted finds isn't just about saving money or following a trend. It's about creating a home that feels deeply personal, comforting, and alive with story. A chipped pitcher, a faded floral plate, an old basket, or a delicate lace cloth may seem simple on their own, but together they can transform your home into a place that feels timeless and full of heart. That's the true beauty of a vintage cottage aesthetic. It invites you to slow down, notice beauty, and make space for things that feel meaningful. I hope this video inspired you to start your own spring thrift treasure hunt and style your home with confidence and creativity. If you enjoyed this cozy decorating journey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in the next beautiful home decor adventure.